They should be able to hear me. Okay. Test the sound, checking video. We don't want to have a streaming that's going out there with no sound because that's embarrassing. It's happened. I can't tell you how many times I get caught in that because I'm not going to the stream to see if I'm actually coming through or not.
I'm going to start the recording, even though she is, just to make sure we have a recording.
Yes, that's a good idea. So we have a recording one way or the other.
And hopefully everybody can hear us on the phone. If you can't hear us,
Anyone can't hear us, tell us now in the chat. If you can't hear,
I'm assuming if you have questions, I will not.
anyone have questions, you can use the chat. Looks like there's a lot of folks over here, so we may not be able to go through the old who's here. That's gonna wipe out the whole session right there. So we actually have a good way to restart. I want to thank Mr. Anthony Escobedo. Senor Escobedo, thank you so much for allowing us in your house or your family's house.
He's from Milwaukee, so he came down here.
He came down here.
The host.
Whoa, so you came to your summer home over here from Milwaukee, where you live in the winter time. Okay, got it. So you came down here, let us in, which is great. This is our first time back. In fact, I think our last meeting that was hybrid, and in fact, I think all our meetings have been hybrid from the beginning.
February before the pandemic.
That's right. We were hybrid from the beginning, I think.
We have been hybrid since.
We sort of started that thing before this whole thing was going on. We were already doing that, and we were here.
We actually started it out of Concurrency's office in Chicago because that's where I was at.
Oh, at the time, that's right.
And then, yeah, we would do hybrid because we know people out in the suburbs don't want to come down to Chicago. We never really thought about the entire world.
Right.
So now we get people joining us from all over.
This is true. We welcome you again. That's not, in fact, I think there's some familiar names from
Yes, we've had
across the seas, across the lands.
We've had people from England, some people from Germany, we've had people from Japan,
New Zealand.
New Zealand.
New Zealand. Talk about like what time is it in New Zealand right now? This is like that's hardcore to show up at our.
New Zealand is about 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, I think. Europe, it's like they're going to bed.
Yeah, that's true. Well, Europe is already, they're partying. They're ready to go to bed. So no problem.
Let's kick this off.
Yep.
Ralph is there. I'm Craig.
Yes. Let's go over here. Let's look at our agenda really quick. There's going to be a little about our session over here. Yes, we're hybrid. There's pizza over here. That's pretty much all you need to know for now. We are taking a look at the AI in the Power Platform today. What day is it today? March. It's almost the end of March.
29th.
Yeah, today, because tomorrow, never knows. No, sorry. Tomorrow could be different. In fact, it seems like that, right? All the changes that are going on.
We're new. We try to have a meeting the last Wednesday of the month.
Indeed.
You want to put that on your calendar for next month.
All right, quick introduction. All right, so Craig Janke. Wait a minute, Craig Janke, I like this. He is from the TBD company. This is a very important firm I think you need to do business with. We were not going to go into details. Well, Craig Janke, if you need to know how to fill in that TBD, do contact him. Please contact him. Right, but otherwise, he's okay for today at least.
I'm okay for today.
He's okay for today. He's good. Ralph Rivas-Sagetti, and we can go into those details a little bit later. Normally, at this point, when we had our little close-knit group that showed up, and most everyone will watch the stream later on, we had enough time to walk through all the folks that are over here.
Usually there's like
Right.
yeah,
So
it might be popular. But we'll start with the in the house.
yeah, the folks in the house can perhaps introduce themselves a little bit, so you know who actually set up our pizza.
Thanks for moving the camera. So my name is Anthony Escobedo. I'm a senior cloud solution architect, and I've been working with Power Platform for going on 8 years, and had a lot of fun in this space. And AI is definitely one of the most important things to get to know these days, especially as all the new components are coming out. Everybody knows about Copilot and those things. So it's a really big initiative here, as everybody knows. So I'm excited to see what we have in store today.
We're going to go one to the over here. New guy. Sorry.
My name's Drew Bukema. I'm a senior business intelligence analyst at a railway company and primarily work in Power BI, but am interested in the Power Apps more broadly. And the meeting, I'm a neighbor, so that's why I ended up in Boston.
Perfect.
And then we have Aurelio across the aisle. I'm not sure that you can see me, but see.
I'm Aurelio Gonzalez. I'm a technical architect at Microsoft, and this is my first day after I joined.
Wow.
Oh, welcome.
Wow, welcome for sure.
So,
Okay, so as you can see, there's lots of pizza going around. So the folks that are still on their way here that said they were showing up, you may want to show up for the pizza gets cold. All right,
pretty rough.
let's we're gonna say hi. Folks can introduce themselves on the chat and say
It would be
hello.
great if you could put your name, what you're interested in, where you're from. Actually, where you're from is kind of cool.
Yeah,
So, just so we can know where you're at.
and then we'll probably look through that in a little roster later on, and we promise not to put you on the spot. All right, really quick, I'm with Sajetti, just a little bit about us. This is one of those slides we're just gonna put in there, let folks read it later on. I am part of this company because of their fact that they're big Microsofts, and that really made a big difference for me of what's going on over here. Very proud of that Power Apps Partner of the Year from last year, and that I was actually participating in that event, so. I'm not going to sell anything over here, just going to leave it at that and keep moving. How about let's take a look at some of our information about our group. All right, so there's a good old QR code. Go ahead and take a snapshot of that. That'll get you straight to essentially what's called the community version of our group. You've seen the meetup because you're here, probably most of you are here because of the meetup. So you've seen that, but there's really an official place where that stuff goes. And we encourage everybody, especially the folks in the meetup, to join that area. That's probably going to get better. Microsoft by Sessionized. It'll probably get better over time, but you want to get there because there's other, let's just say, other things that in the community you can see from over there as well, not just the user group information. All right, and yeah, you start up at powerusers.microsoft.com, and then you can just go ahead. Our way.
We also left out, so me and Ralph and Anthony kind of helped this time, but we also run a one-day conference called M365 Chicago,
Yes.
which was last July. So if you do a search on M365.
Actually, last November was the last time.
Remember?
Remember?
January?
No, we did. It was November 11th. It was a full service.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's a one-day conference we run every year. We may change that up, but it's a great place if you ever think about speaking. We take pretty much anybody who submits, we'll take at least one session from.
Yes.
Because we can do it we do it virtually, so we can have as many rooms as we need.
Yes.
Small little plug for who we are.
We'll probably be part of community days at some point, with that.
Yeah, I was on a call for that.
Community days, and yeah, we can talk about that a little bit later. But essentially, it's all about community over here. People are encouraged to come in for that. It's m365chicago.com, by the way, just to take a look at what we did in the past. All right, a few notes before we start. For the folks that are here, looks like everyone's being nice and not trying to munch on pizza while I'm talking. So thank you very much for that. But it's okay. If you guys want to eat, feel free. Don't worry, I'm not bothered by it. Not really. There, of course, there goes Craig right now. And for the folks that are online, there is the chat. And I see over here, hey, look, there's Dave and Prave, Chicago. Here we go. We got Miami, Florida. Yes, where I wish I was right now. We got Ontario, Canada, Riverwoods, a whole bunch of folks that are out there. Please chat. Go ahead. Have at it and everything else. If there's an actual question that you want to have answered, maybe put a Q in front of it. Maybe somebody that's out there will watch. We're going to say, let's go take a look at the Qs that are out there and try to answer the question for you. All right. So that's a quickie. Look at it. All right. Well, that's our topic today. We're going to take a look at the AI in Power Platform. And that's what this topic is all about. And there's Power Platform in all its glory, all the pieces that are out there. I'm going to take a quick seat over here so I can see what the heck I'm looking at. Oh, yes, of course. A quick note about me. There's the QR code. Again, saving time. Get on the QR, get all that information that's out there. No need to go through all these great, crazy details. All right. First, a quick of what's coming. All right. When we look at the stuff, before we look at what's happening in AI, there is a place to go find out where a lot of this stuff is. And that is, if you don't know about this already, I think we talked about it in our last session. It's essentially, it's called the release planner, right? The release planner is where you can go ahead and keep track of everything that happens with, say, Power Platform or Dynamics. Let's go ahead and see if I can call this up right over here. Stand by. Let me go bring this up for you. Everyone can see that one over here?
Yep.
So let me maximize a little bit the planner. Hold on, come on. All right. So I'm going to go over here. There's D3, it's a D365, and you can see it's dynamics.com that's up there. But really, what is big in D365? Of course, what else? But Power Platform. So I'm taking a look, and I actually hit the down arrow for Power Platform, and I can see what's coming up in different areas. And the most important thing about this is like the AI stuff that you saw that we're going to be talking about over here and that are coming and that have already been. Here's where you can see it. So as you can see, we have planned, coming soon, try it now. I'm going to say this is one of your coolest features, especially if you're an administrator and you want to know what's going on, or if you need to try to explain to people why you need something and when. You can actually make your own version of this, create your release plan. So you can go ahead and select some of these topics that are in here. They have all kinds of features for this stuff right over here. Right, see this over here, getting into the details, where someone can select it. I can go ahead and send a link to somebody. I could save it, a bunch of other things to make my own version of the release plans for out here. But I just wanted to make sure that you know where this is, because if I'm going to give you what's coming, very likely I'm going to refer you to the area here first. No, well, we're going to figure that out. All right, let's take this up. Let's get back over here for a moment. All right, so that's the release planner. Or we can, hey, you know what we can do? We can ask the new Bing for questions. We can ask for it to happen. It's like, does everyone here, well, the folks over here probably already know about the new Bing.
I know about the new
Coming in.
Bing, but I have not seen the new Bing.
But now we're talking about AI and Power Platform today. This is actually the place to start. And I'm not talking about so much Bing, but the concept that everyone has heard about, this so-called ChatGPT engine that's out there. As a note, essentially, it comes from something called OpenAI. There's an openai.org that's out there that has all that information. And Microsoft has been using it for a long time now. This is not a surprise. It didn't just like, oh, there's like everyone wants to use ChatGPT and now all these people are showing off their tech on it. This has been Microsoft from the get-go. The AI modeler that we're going to look at a little bit later, that was there, what, 2019, around that time? That was that framework underneath the cover. So this is not new, right? But overall this time we have this developed. So let's go ahead and take a look at Bing for just a moment here. Let me see if I can log in. Let's go ahead and go Bingy, looking around at stuff. All right, so I can say, see how it says ask me anything, and let me go ahead and bring it up in a much better screen view, and let's go into the chat mode. I want to maximize the screen again. All right. Okay, so of course, when we're talking to Bing, and this is very important because this control that you're seeing over here actually is also going to be in Power Platform. It's good to know how these tools work natively before you start using them or applying them to, maybe this could be in Power BI. You know, Power BI, for example, we were talking about Power BI, has this one where you can ask it a question. It's like you can actually just ad hoc ask a question, how many widgets were sold last week? And all of a sudden it comes with the answer. Now imagine that with the power of this on top of it, where you can tell it, well, I want that answer, but I want that answer in the form of a Renaissance barker. Yeah, there be 25 widgets for my lord or something. Maybe silly and trite, but the idea is now those engines can plug in the same manner as anything else. So a really quick question over here. So I can say, let's see, what's new for AI integration with our platform? Okay, 1 second. Our platform. Right. So I'm asking nicely, and I'm asking a balance look. I'm not getting crazy with creative. Maybe I can do creative and see what it says. See an answer. That's fast, wasn't it? Check it out. It's got okay, we knew about AI Builder.
It even cites.
Check it out. Hope this helps. You have some more questions on it? It's like, tell me about new features with AI in, let's try Power Virtual Agents. Well, I'm going to misspell it. Let's see what happens. I misspelled it, right? Virtual. And look at that. Well, off the bat, that's the one thing I'm liking about this is it lets you misspell to your heart's content. Check it out. There's the new features I talked about. Chat transcripts for gaps also announced. Microsoft announced generative AI features, and then again, it gives the links. You can click to follow through with the information that's out there, right, and go straight up to where these places are.
Yeah, I like how it cites the material.
All right, and then here it is. It gives suggested follow-up questions.
All right, James says that it is
What's that?
crazy good, but he said bring up the Bing Chat Discover side panel using the Bing icon.
Oh, let's find that Discover side panel. Where's that? Where's that again?
Bing icon in the upper right.
Upper right, which is right over here.
I don't know what that is.
So he means this right over here?
Oh, no.
No, that's not it.
Top right.
In the browser.
Yeah.
The top right in the browser. Oh, you mean up here?
Yep. Nope.
No, to the right of that.
No,
Right,
no.
the big B is on the top right.
This guy.
No, that's
No,
not
Power Automate.
to the right, Ralph, right.
I see it. I see it. You see my neck screening all to the side over here. You mean this right here? Check it out. I click it. There we go. So this is the because I'm using Edge especially. This is like instead of me chatting from this end, I could have done it from here, right? That's the point. All right, just another control. What is the point I'm making over here? If we're looking at anything that we're doing in Power Platform, any Power Platform, chances are it's a component that's going to go in.
He said, yes, try compose.
Compose. Here we go.
Up at the top.
Let's go. Here we go. Compose. Here we go. There we go. Write about. Oh, so we want to write about something. It's like, okay, so we're going to write an enthusiastic. Oh no, how about a funny? Let's see. Make an article. Okay, 1 second. Announcing the latest from Microsoft Power Platform on AI with ChatGPT. Okay.
You can do click on informational format equals ideas, length equals.
Well, I said to make it funny, and I wanted to give me the format of a format of a blog post. And let's go ahead and let's do a short one, and let's generate this draft. Okay. Who's got a stopwatch?
Not me.
Hello, Power Platform enthusiasts. I have some exciting news to share with you today. Whoop. To get started. Okay, that was ridiculous.
That does not look short.
That is super freaking fast. All right, you just took.
Go put it on your blog.
Now I'm going to cut and paste this. Put it in my blog. We have. There's no excuse now to have it. Remember how we have to make blogs sometimes? They say, "Oh gosh, I got to write out a blog today." Well, heck. And what? How? I'm going to see.
Still have to prove.
I don't think this was funny though because I didn't see any jokes. So I'm going to say with more jokes probably if is what I'm going to say. But anyways, there we go. But that's actually pretty cool. All right.
Thank you, James, for the.
Thank you, James, for reminding us of these deeper features. And we might as well take a dive into that. And the key, of course, why we want to look at that from this level is because as we get deeper, we're going to see these technologies applied. And so with that, stand by. Let me minimize this now, or let me bring this back. Bring it back to my home screen here. All right, let's go to our next. So this is basically the crux of what we're going to be looking into. And the key blog that I'm starting off with over here and we're not going to look at that just this moment over here. Give it a moment. As you can see, my screen is taking a while to render. Is essentially about building solutions. This one's from March 6th. Why is this so interesting? We were talking about earlier why there seems to be a lot of interest. A lot of these seems to be coming out lately, and it's not just on Microsoft, but from everywhere. Everyone seems to be talking about it. It's in the news. I mean, it was on NPR just the other day. I mean, twice as a news article. It's just basically everywhere that you can hear it, it's going on. So a lot of this information that we're seeing, a lot of the features that we're seeing were only discussed or talked about just recently. In fact, they're talking about some features that have yet to come, but we're actually allowed to talk about it because the way I see it, if they put it on YouTube, it's not NDA anymore. We can talk about it. All right, so let's see. What are we going to cover today? We're going to look at some of these AI features in Power Virtual Agents. We may not go into AI Builder, that's a little bit bigger. So actually we saw what that can do over there. But Power Virtual Agents, we're definitely going to look at. We don't do too much Power Virtual Agents over here. I think we should do a real full like a mini, not in a day, but in a session, Power Virtual Agents thing.
Power Virtual Agents in an hour.
So, but actually, you're going to see us do Power Virtual Agents in 5 minutes, perhaps. We're going to take a look at that. Conversation boosters with Power Virtual Agents. Well, how's that work? Let's figure that out. Will we create a text in GPT model? Well, if I have it, I'll do it, but I'm not sure if I can. I'm not sure if I have that. In this blog, they talk about responsible AI at Microsoft. So I do want to underscore that. You might have looked around the web. In fact, perhaps you asked ChatGPT, what are other chat engines up there? Some of them are not necessarily responsible AI, or are they? Right? Everyone wants to be responsible AI, but be sure at least the Microsoft stuff is going to be responsible. I know it's true because every time I try to ask something irresponsible, it stops me cold. And it doesn't take away my rights, though, at least. So as long as I keep saying, "Oh, hail our robot masters," we're okay. Other AI stuff, we're going to actually look at these over here. In fact, we're going to go and start looking at those now before we deep dive into pieces, because this one actually, and we're actually going to replay stuff that's already in YouTube. We have the links over here, but I just want you to take a look at these. If you haven't seen them, or if you've already seen them, bear with us as we play them for the folks who haven't, and hopefully the sounds will come true. One moment, please. Let me go fix this over here. I turned off the piece. Where did it go? There you go. Stand by. I'm going over to. Here we go. This is April Dunham on building a flow with your words. And the concept is this is in Power Automate, all right, where you can actually build a flow. And let's just watch her put this together. Actually, you know what? I'm going to skip this one. I think I'm going to do this one as an actual demo. I think I have it. Let's go straight to this one, though, because the other link was the PowerCat team. The PowerCat team, by the way, that's Microsoft's customer advisory team. They're the folks that essentially behind the Center of Excellence kit and a whole bunch of other tools, the Creator Kit, you name it. If it's really cool and it comes out on a monthly basis outside of the product, and they do a lot of cool stuff, that's the PowerCat team. And here's the Power Platform team. They have a YouTube site, there it is, at MS Power Platform. Subscribe to this. Of course, I'm on a different login here, so that's not subscribed. But here, I mean, they put some great videos, great cool stuff over here. And I'm going to actually show this over here, but this is the one I do want to show. There's two especially here. The ChatGPT and AI Builder, maybe that's how we're going to show AI Builder. But for now, this one I'd like to see.
Copilot has been helping developers in GitHub. Why not Power Apps? Copilot for Power Apps is here. Type what's on your mind and get a Dataverse table, an app, and even sample data. I was excited for a demo from Clay, and then this happened.
The how easy it is I'm not even going to demo it today. You are going to demo it.
All right, let's take this thing for a spin. Welcome to PowerCat Live. My name is Phil Toppers from the PowerCat team, and today we're here with Clay. Hey, Clay.
Hi, Phil.
So you've brought something brand new for us to see?
I have. Just this week, Copilot in Power Apps, bringing the power of AI to makers and users. We're very excited.
So It's amazing to see GPT-3 finally coming to Power Apps.
Phil. It has been in Power Apps for 2 years. We are coming back up on our two-year anniversary. So in May of 2021, we released Power Apps Ideas, which uses the GPT-3 model to allow you to write natural language and create a formula. We then released Express Design, which allows you to use an image or Figma and build an app. Now we're bringing natural language all the way through to an app. So this has been something we've been working with for a long time. What we're really excited about today is the productivity gains and ease of use that this will bring to a first-time maker.
So I've seen all the excitement about GPT-3. What's new about bringing it to Power Apps?
So what you would have seen is a lot of the public models working with ChatGPT. The stuff that you're going to play with today is actually bringing it directly into Power Apps to do two main. And then the second part is how we bring that to users so you can actually add your own app copilot into your app that can answer questions about data for you.
So how easy is this? I can just like shout out to Power Apps and tell it what I want it to build?
The how easy it is I'm not even going to demo it today. You
What?
are going to demo it.
Okay.
That's how easy it is.
So I just come here and I just tell it the app I want.
Yeah. Open up Power Apps,
All
tell
right.
it what app you want to build.
So I was just talking with a customer. They were building an equipment tracking app. So let's build that.
In those descriptions, you can be as detailed or as brief as you want. One of the real interesting things that we've seen is people can come in. Some people are really brief. They say equipment tracking. Some people say, hey, I would really like, and they're very polite to the bot.
Do I have to be polite to the AI or is it okay?
You should be polite to the Copilot, but no, you don't have to. You can be as brief as you would like.
Okay. I'll try to be kind to it. So this is cool. So it generated some sample data so I can kind of get a feel for how this is going to look in Dataverse.
It first of all interpreted that natural language. It then used sources from the internet to create a base schema. So it said you want the ID, you want the name, you want equipment. It then also generated some sample data on top of that. We mapped that to our data types, and it's given you a preview as here in the first step.
And I see that it looks like it's taking advantage of Dataverse here. Like this is a real auto number column.
Yeah, so we've actually mapped the schema that we get back from Copilot directly into those data types that we have from Dataverse. So as you'll see, they go through, we make that first mapping. You can actually now ask it for some changes if you'd like as well.
So let's have it just
Ask it for exactly what you want to do, just in natural language.
It's nice to have a few rows of sample data too. Can I more?
You can just ask it, Phil. You don't have to ask me to ask Copilot.
Clay, can I
You
have
can
more?
ask the Copilot directly.
Okay. Make more sample data, please. Because your coach needs to be polite.
It'll appreciate that. One thing we've learned, honestly, is the best thing to do is ask it. And the worst thing it can do is come back and say, sorry, I don't know how to do that, or I can't do that for some reason.
Now I noticed here that it did equipment as a text column. It should probably be a choice. So you're saying I just ask it?
You just ask it, Phil. You don't have to start again. You can just ask it exactly what changes you want it to make.
Make
Scary.
equipment a choice column. So that's pretty cool. All right. So here I can see now equipment has become a choice column.
Yeah.
So
And so
I just build the app then. Just click create app.
click create app. What it's going to go do now is create that table for you in Dataverse and build an app on top of it. And while nothing you did was particularly complex, think about the number of clicks and steps that you saved yourself just by asking the Copilot to do it for you. But also for first-time makers who might be building their first app, they've been able to come in here, use a really simple description, and get a table, data created, and an app generated on top of it.
Okay, so here's my app, but I'm not looking at my app. I'm looking at what, GPT?
You're looking at a modern, intelligent app.
Clay, are you implying that of my app and me, only one of us is modern and intelligent?
You're doing okay, but your app is really impressive.
Fair, okay.
And so based on just your prompt you started with and those instructions, you've actually created a couple of things. One, a traditional app that you're familiar with is still actually there. It's just on the second screen. But what you've got on this first screen is the app Copilot. So this is that same conversational power, but built into your app for you so that you can now ask questions about the data within your app.
So I can ask it a question about my data. So let's ask this first one it's suggesting. What is the most popular equipment item that is checked out? That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And the cool part about this isn't just like a public chat API that you're asking information, like general information about the internet. This is actually connected and using the data that you have within your app. So just like in Power Apps, how you can connect a data source to a table or a form or a gallery, now you can also connect it to the app Copilot and get this power of conversation over your data.
So we have to look at the app that it built then. So let's take a look at that. And so it looks like basically everything I usually have a 3-screen app for, but all in one screen. I've got a list of all the data. I can view each record and edit and create.
Yeah, we took an opportunity here to make a few other updates to our app template as well. So yes, people would know and love the traditional 3-screen app. We've now updated this with a more modern look. It's actually a fully responsive app that can do the same things. You can still filter over data, view your records, create and edit as well. But you've got that now in a single responsive screen that'll run on the web or on mobile.
So this app Copilot control is really cool. Can I add this to an app that I've already got?
Absolutely. So we add it to the homepage by default, but you can actually get them then to add in other parts of your apps or other apps that you've built. Right now we're in preview, so you do need to go into the settings, preview features, and turn it on. Once you've done that, you'll see it in the input menu to add into your app like any other control.
And this is like just a regular Power App, so I can start extending on this and building it out from here.
What we've really done is use the Copilot to get you started way, way quicker, remove a lot of those tasks that you would have had to do manually, like creating your table, adding extra fields, getting sample data to work in while you're developing, and land you into a richer template with intelligence and conversation built into it. Now, as you would normally do as a maker, you can go continue to extend this, add more to it, make it a richer app.
Now, you mentioned this is reading my company's data. My company's data is special to me, right? How do I trust this?
Yeah. So a great resource, particularly across all of Microsoft, is a lot of our responsible AI and privacy content. We take, privacy, particularly when it comes to AI, very, very seriously. So it's the best resource to kind of understand across the Microsoft ecosystem.
Now, can anyone just jump in and use it?
We're starting to roll it out now. We have a wait list that we're rolling out as well. So we'll start onboarding. We'll start onboarding people as soon as we can, but we'll start rolling it out to customers as they join that wait list and express interest. So the biggest ask I can make of people is get your name on that wait list so we know you're interested and we can get you in to use these Copilot capabilities as soon as possible.
If there's someone that I would like to bump to the top of the wait list, can I just ask the bot? Because you told me I should just ask the bot whatever I wanted.
You can ask the bot anything. I don't know how helpful it's going to be in this particular scenario, but please, you can ask.
Okay, I'll try it. Clay, thanks so much for being here. This is an amazing feature and it's fun to play with it.
Thank you, Phil. Thank you for having me.
Okie dokie, let's get that one on the stop over here.
Welcome to PowerCat Live.
That was very, very, very cool. All right. I had to show that one only because of all the videos I've seen for things. This is the one where he, Topness channels Ryan Reynolds while he's at it. But I mean, it actually encompasses everything that we're talking about, where literally you're telling a system to build what you need to build. You're enhancing it in the same manner, and then you get something that you can start from, and it shows all the paradigms that I was talking about. Why did I show the Bing chat before? Because what did we see over here? That's pretty much what's going to be happening. So I wanted to make that quite clear. Let me go ahead now then and show. Let's see. I think I'm going to change my screen. I can do it from over here, I believe. Yes. So I'm going to be looking at my screen on the top. Let me get over a nice piece over here. So we saw Bing. Is Bing still there? Nope, that's not there. Hold on a second. Here we go. Right. Let's bring this over here. We're going to do some demos now because I believe that's our next slide set. Let me double check. It's demo time. Demo time. All right. Let's start. We saw apps right now, and of course we don't have the preview on here right now. We did put ourselves in the wait list, and we're still waiting. So I can't show my company stuff for that, but I can at least say we're waiting. That's why part of the reason to show the video. However, in Power Automate, and let me close this for a moment. Let's go see what we can do in Power Automate. This is the April Dunham video that you saw earlier. All right, so in Power Automate, we can actually do some things right now. That system sort of exists, but not quite the same. Here's it, I would say the first version of this. So when I click on new to create over here, you'll find this. Everyone should now, if you're now looking at your own Power Automate, if you want to follow along, go to your Power Automate right now. Oh, by the way, and be sure to select an environment that's dev because it may or may not work depending on your company policy, but play in dev. Does anything weird, you're not going to be blocked for licensing or DLP policies, right? So first thing, of course, a reminder to everyone that features the ability for every user to have 3 dev environments, and let's just say we did that. All right, so there's my dev environment set. Hey, can we just go away now? Thank you. I'm going to now describe a flow that I want to build. So describe my flow in everyday words. What's everyday words? Okay. I want to tell my friends on Twitter and on Twitter when I am featured in a Microsoft no, when I'm featured in our general Teams channel. I just wanted to try to get as many connectors mentioned as possible. All right. I can fix that spelling, but maybe I don't need to. I'm just going to fix it just so it's neat. All right, fine. All right, I got that. All right, hold on a second. I don't see a next over here.
That's the arrow to the right. On the right side of the screen.
The right side, you see it?
Yeah, at the end of the sentence.
Right here. There we go. Got to put it in. Generating suggestions. Here we go. After you review this flow suggestion, take a look. So it says here's a trigger. When a channel message is added, yep, on Teams, here's some actions in the trigger. All right, let's go see. Let's follow through. All right, at this point, it tries to make connections. If I didn't connect to something, let's say Twitter, it would ask me for sign in and log in. All right, that looks good. I need Teams and I need Twitter. All right, so far so good. All right, at this point now, I get to select the team that I want to do. So let's go ahead and select the team. I want our main group. What channel is it going to be? I want the agenda. All right, let's create that flow. Did someone time me? See how long it took? There's the flow. At this point now, I can set the condition to be specific. All right. In this case, when a channel message is added, okay, so here's one thing it didn't do. You see the condition? It left it blank. So this is the older version. There's probably going to be improvements to this one. If the implication from the new system that they were showing is that even the condition might be like name equals, and it knows Ralph, it'll say Ralph, and put a condition. But here now I can put it in. It actually saved me a lot of steps because otherwise I would be looking around for the template, setting up the team, setting up all these pieces. As you can see, there's both a if yes and if no situation automatically for me. And then here we go to post a tweet, right? And because it was signed as me, it's going to post it as me. And then what do I want to tweet? I didn't specify what I tweeted. Maybe it would have put it. I don't know. But I still think that's pretty impressive. And this has been available for what, a couple of months now, at least. It's on preview mode. It's been around there. When it comes release, I can imagine it can only be better. All right. That is just Power Automate. While we're here, let me see if I have any AI builder pieces over here that might be on preview. Okay, I'm not going to save this. I'm just going to say, okay, go away. You see, some people would have, say, a DLP setting that says Twitter is not allowed. I imagine it would have been blocked if we attempted to use it. But let's go.
Do you know when they're planning on rolling out? Is there anybody checking you guys when they're rolling out the new version? Not a clue.
Well, in the release planner, it might. Remember, I mentioned the release planner. Okay, there's your homework. Go see if it's in the release official date. If it's not in the release planner, that means that they're keeping it to the cuff. All right, here we go. So we look over here. We have, says build an AI model. Let's go see if we have, I don't have any models. Let's go build one. Let's go see which ones that they have for us available right now. I think these are the normal ones we've seen. This is the original AI pieces that were here before. Okay. Predict, detect custom. Okay. So I don't see the preview one on here, but the preview one would show up over here when the ChatGPT one, because there's going to be one for adding ChatGPT as a model, and that's going to show up over here. Well, it's not here right now, so obviously I'm still waiting in the waiting list. We can actually maybe take a look at the video on that one if there's still time, but otherwise there was a video on that as well. Alrighty then, how about we do this? We'll look at the next one that's out there where it's in preview, and most people have this preview already. So let me go over here, and we're going to, let's go to Power Apps if we can. We have a Power Apps right over here. Go to Power Apps. Show me Power Apps. Doesn't it seem like it takes longer for the screens to render than for ChatGPT to come up with an answer? Oh, what is with that?
Hey, we qualify for
All right.
25% off of a power.
So, hey,
When did they start throwing commercials?
hey, it's the commercials. This is the developer environment, not meant for production use. Okay, that's fine. All right, let's do this. Let's look at chatbots. Before, I remember we used to have to type in Power Virtual Agents, blah, blah, blah. Chatbots is now part of the screen. By the way, there's a new look and feel coming up, but we're not going to get into that today. Okay, so I'm going to make a chatbot over here. Let's take a look at this new features for AI in the chatbots. Because this one now, you saw the Power Automate was like the early version. You saw the Topness video, which is like, go. And now here's the interim steps in between coming up. And like I said, it takes longer to render than it is for ChatGPT to come back with apparently a story. All right, so what I'm going to say, well, we're going to create a chatbot from scratch, but I'm not going to do that. For now, let's close up over here. I want to emphasize this screen. Very important. Build for production is your normal chatbot stuff. It's this, the unified canvas, this preview. You can't deploy to the production. You can play with it. You can try it. But this is ridiculous. Simple. All right. Tells you what you can do. Unified Chatbot Studio, Fusion Teams collaboration. What do we mean by that? It means now your so-called traditional developers, pro devs, can work with your regular devs. How would they work? The traditional devs might have YAML files, those Azure framework type information, and regular folks, the citizen devs, they're actually just typing in little pieces of text inside of boxes. All right. What else is here? Advanced authoring. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's see what's in here. It should be neat. All right, let's make a bot. I'm going to call it, what do I want to call it? I'm going to call it the M365 Chicago bot. Right. And
the M365 Chicago Lou Malnati bot. Pizza bot. Call it the pizza bot.
Let's go. You want to make a pizza bot? Okay, so we're taking suggestions from the audience apparently. Let's call it the pizza bot. Okay. Lou, I'm going to call it. By the way, if Lou Malnati is watching, we're going to send him a bill. Lou's Pizza Bot. There we go. And now all we have to do is put a website. It doesn't care about HTTPS, by the way. Lou, anyone know the website? Malnati's. I got to get this right because it's gonna care about this. All right. All right. Is Lou going to get mad that I'm pointing at his website? Okay. Somebody timer. 6:29 and 2 seconds. Let's see. If anyone's been to the site, you know it's not a baby site. It's not like a 5-pager of the M365. You know, it's clearly probably got marketing, sales, all that stuff. Let's take a look.
Now we gotta look it up.
Now we gotta look it up. So everyone goes to lumalnineties.com to find out what's there. And our robot masters are done looking at it. Yikes. Yes, if you have fear, it is okay to display fear. However, don't let the AI see your fear. But that's okay. Here we go. All right, so it says, all right, try new features. Okay, fine. I see the new features. Hi, robot. Elevate your message. Expand your capabilities. Okay, I'm sold. Here we go. It was done, by the way. It went through and did Luminati's, and let me just skip through this over here. And here we go. Let's test our bot, shall we? And oh yeah, author and Copilot. We're going to go through that in a little bit. All right, so just a moment. Okay, so we're going to say right now I'm going to ask, where can I find my nearest Lou Malnati restaurant? Now, mind you, he just gave me that that suggestion earlier. Now, again, I just can't stand misspellings, but it'll probably know what I'm doing. Let's see what it does. Let's find out how good this is. Right before, what did we have to do with Power Virtual Agents? We'd have to go in here. Wait a minute. We have to go in the app. We have to go create topics, or we would have to do like there's a feature that says go generate topics from a web page. It points to a web page like an FAQ, creates topics, and sometimes it'll come back with an error like, oh, there's too many topics. Get a smaller web page. Yeah. This just went to a whole freaking site. I asked a straight up question. I created no topics, Mike.
I got the wrong answer.
Well, that's the nearest to guess who. Who do you think it's? Where do you think it's?
The newest location, not the nearest.
The newest location. Oh, wait a minute. The nearest. To find our newest location. Wait a minute. That's good. That's interesting. So it interpreted my nearest.
The newest.
How about this? Let me update. Let me change that. So
Find the closest.
where can I find my closest? How about where can I find a Lou Malnati
Near me.
restaurant near me?
That's
Okay.
how I would ask it.
All right, let's see. But that was pretty cool that it said the newest location is there out there. Check it out.
It still wants to give you the newest
Now, you know what I'm thinking, it just still wants to do this. So this one we'll vote down over here. What else could be in that site? You're on the website over there? What,
one.
like,
What's the best?
what is the most popular menu item? Let's see what it says. Oh, did I type it or did I not type it? Okay. What is the most popular menu item? Let's see what it says. Let's see if there's anything in there. Find out if there's any information. It's well, duh, pizzas. And here, and you can order. Wait a minute. Look what it did. It went out of its way to enhance itself by giving a. You probably want to order something right now. It took it upon itself to sell Luminati's. What's that? What's the question?
Appetizers.
What's that?
What appetizers?
Oh. What appetizers does Luminati's? Let's see what happens. Check it out.
Stuff
Dude.
ready for shut up. Oh, it gives you 3 and that tells you to check out the full.
Check out the full list here. So it didn't go and spew a list on it. It gave me a summary. Hey, you may want to see those full list. Where is it getting all this advice and stuff? But hold on a second. How do I even put this together? How fast, if I wanted to clean this up, all I have to do is go to topics, capture the information. So I know people are asking the question, you know, like where is the nearest to me? And it keeps the nearest versus the newest. I'd probably go in and make a topic that says, when they say nearest, look for freaking location, don't go there, that sort of stuff, right? I'd fix it, right? But otherwise, whoa, that was cool.
What happens when you go on to analytics?
What's that?
You click on analytics.
Oh, let's go take a look at analytics. Where's the analytics over here?
Look,
Here we go. Let's go see. Let's go see. Let's see what happens when the analytics. I don't have much going on this site, but let's take a look.
Oh, you.
Ooh, does that look familiar? Is that picture looks like Power BI to me. I love it. I love it. Whoa, check it out. By your command, the silent rings.
Do you know why they have a call out on the page if you go to Lou's website for that location?
Oh, it's seeing that, is it?
Yeah, there's like.
All right, so there's not going to be much stats going on because after all, we only just started the
there's a
bot.
little call out for that.
By the way, so with Power Virtual Agents, analytics are very, very important because here's the thing, for all the AI powerness and stuff, you know what they say? It's like, you want to demonstrate this. And when it says, was this person born yesterday? I mean, literally, this was born in 5 minutes ago. This guy came together. So he's not going to know that he's going to be, he's smart, but he's, not knowing his powers. The analytics essentially help you learn, help to see how well it's learning what's going on, and you can follow up through, and you can see it keeps updating. Customer satisfaction, that means how many times we said yes or no, we like the answer, we didn't. If there's billing, oh yeah, billing is important. All right, let me go back for a sec to topics. All right, and let's create a new topic. Let's go ahead, let's create it with the Copilot. I'm always tempted to put up the GIF from Airplane. They turn on, the Copilot comes popping up. Never mind. All right, name the topic. All right, the topic is funniest looking pizza. Okay. All right. Create a topic 2. Help users customize craziest pizza combination. Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and let's see what the AI generation does for us, the Copilot. All right. Here we go. Building. Timer. Turn it on. Like I said, it feels like it renders. The screen takes longer to render than the topic creation. Okay. Here we go. All right. Oh, yeah, I need to allow. Why do I always have to do this? I keep saying yes, and I have to do it again. All right. Okay, here we go. So we're going to edit with Copilot. We have trigger phrases, right? This is usually how it works. Let's go take a look at these trigger phrases. Here's some examples. User for your name, summarizing. In other words, you can get other information that's in here. But let's take a look at their trigger here. It didn't seem to have worked properly because I don't see any phrases over here.
Close the properties.
Hold on a second. I have to select it. I don't see any trigger phrases though. This one's blank. This one didn't work. Ah, it may not have liked my suggestion. So let's go ahead. Let's start with something perhaps a little less crazy. Back to topics for a moment. I'm going to try this one more time. Sometimes in previews, you have your things. Let's call the topic make a pizza combo. Okay. Here's topic 2. User can choose. I can ask for a pizza with any ingredient. Okay, how about that? All right, let's see what happens. All right, what do we need to know? Anything we need to know? It can have some mistakes. Let's try this again. Again, this was off the bat. I could have done my script and followed through and said, oh, well, if I wanted this question, I'll get stuff out of it. But I want to see if this will work. Let's try it again. It didn't take long, at least, to come back to something. All right, here we go. There we go. Aha. This one's actually better. And I actually misspelled can. All right, here we go. Trigger phrases.
Likes the word combo.
Compose a pizza combo. Okay. So these are the trigger phrases done for you automatically. This is like the most tedious part of PVA is creating the trigger phrases. Right? Well, hold on a second. Let's go and see if we can edit these trigger phrases here for a second. We'll leave the Copilot.
The ellipse is on the right,
I think that we can do the Copilot to get a little bit crazy. I'm trying to remember where that feature is.
right? You edit those down below.
You see it?
Yeah, you just click on create a pizza combo.
Create a pizza combo.
You can just set it right there.
All right. So that's to add phrases.
So you change the combo to combination.
Yeah, well, that's true. I could do that. I could do that. Boy Nation. All right. I believe though I can modify this after the fact. I'm just trying to find the modification piece over here on the Copilot. I'm just trying to remember where that was. It's been a little bit. Let's see here. Edit with Copilot. Here we go. What do you want to do? Let's see. Ask questions. Like a bit in a TV show. Just see what happens. Did I do detective right? No, I didn't. I'll see. Okay, let's update. Let's see what happens. Thinking about it? Okay, it's been updated. Let's go see the questions over here. In fact, I think we could see these better if I open up the area. In fact, there's a thing for code over here, right up here somewhere. There we go. That's testing the bot. Open code editor. Oh yeah, remember we talked about that unified canvas? Check it out. Oops, what type of pizza would you like, detective? Here we go. What ingredients would you like in your pizza? Well, so it did it simple, but here's the thing. I added a nuance to the request. So in fact, look at this. It's giving an idea over here. Check it out. Definition over here. Embedded entry. You know what? Where did it find all this information from? Where did it get these pizza combinations? I can give this now to the Azure developer that's working on the bot stuff and play. I could cut and paste this stuff in. This stuff goes into, they're actually going to make this even more like drag and droppy, right click, automatically copy instead of me clicking on the code editor. It's going to get better with that at some point. But that's the idea over here, where there's combinations where it actually makes the questions in a certain way or however you want to do it. But that's the Copilot, just really fast, really fast, and going through it. So between that, now I see that I don't have to do too much work in creating topics. For one thing, my starting point can be with like most of the site ready to go. And now I can go ahead and create topics to get going with some of these pieces.
One question.
Yes, go ahead. Yes.
It's all new to me.
Yes.
When you talk about triggers, it's kind of populating a list of triggers.
Yes.
Would a potential customer have to hit exactly?
No.
Or does the language model like understand conceptually?
A very good question. A very good question. So I'm going to go ahead and publish this. Well, I'm going to save it first, and then we're going to ask one of these questions in a odd way. Let's see what happens. Right. So I'm going to say in that. See, my combination is still there, misspelled. All right. So hang on a second. So I'm going to now ask a question. Here we go. So one of the ones we know is going to give us an answer is generate a pizza combo. Just going to say it. Generate a pizza combo. So we're going to see, does this work? Or maybe I have to enable there we go. What kind of pizza would you like, detective? All right. So we're going to try something else. Is like, so let's see, design a pizza combo, put together a pizza combo. Let's try,
Give me a pizza.
I want a pizza combo. Let's see what happens. I didn't put, I want a combo, pizza combo is not in the trigger phrases. What did it do? It basically said, this is close to what I created topics for. So even though I have, I think actually chatbot worked like this before, wherein even if you put like certain topics, you could ask things that were close enough to it and it was able to do it. The AI was smart enough to do it then. Now it's ridiculously smarter because now I could like make a mistake. Let's see, order pizza combo. Let's see what happens. I misspelled pizza, I misspelled combo. And I just said order. All right. It just put it together. It just brought it together. And the whole point again is a good user experience because you never know, you can't predict all the millions of combinations. However, when you have the power of the cloud and the power of AI and everything else. Kasmoot. Okay, is everyone here bowing down to your robot masters right now? Because you know the robot masters are going to use Bing when they find out if you hailed them or not the other thing. Just saying. Right? It's 6:45, perfect timing. So let me go back to our presentation for a moment. We saw demo time and we dove in. Let's go ahead and we're going to show some other things that are going to talk about them. We're not going to dive into them too much. I'm hitting enter. Like I said, it's faster to render to GPT than it is to actually click on something over here.
James says that the robot masters are expensive though.
Don't worry. At some point, they're going to be working for everyone. Here we go. All right. So one of the things that's out there, you saw Copilot and everything else. I implore you to take a look at M365 Copilot. I think of on the M365, we were at M365 on stuff. You played with this yet, Craig?
I've looked at it. I have not had time to play with it, but I plan to do it.
All right. So if you saw all those pieces that are out there, the Copilot system is it's really crazy. At this point, you almost have no excuse not to get work done with this. Just there's a link down over there. My suggestion is follow through with it and check out what it can do. Hey, come on. For some reason, my clicker does not want to. There we go. So there's, you want to take a look at all the AI stuff that's going on. You might have recalled in Power Platform, we had 30 days Power Platform in February. Well, is this for April, right? For April, we're going to have 30 days of Azure AI. Now it's Azure AI, sure, that's there, but you got to remember, that's what's under the covers. The Power Platform stuff will be mentioned in this particular series. And if you really want to deep dive the AI bits, here's how to do it, especially if you're into the pro dev area.
They already kicked off.
That kicked off today.
So no, the 17th.
The 17th. Oh, so it's 30 days, but it's not for the month. It's just starting on right after St. Patty's. Okay.
There's some recordings already there about that.
Okay. Hey, we got time for Ask Me Anything. If you're here, it's like, what is that license going to cost? Well, the AI stuff. Power Virtual Agents sounds expensive.
James, without adding in the Azure plan.
What can everything here doesn't exactly have an Azure plan to it. In fact, all that we saw over here, there is no Azure plan. Well, underneath the covers, it's Azure, but there is no plan. It's you're using Azure, but you're not paying for it extra. Why would you need an Azure plan? You need an Azure plan if you wanted to, say, the bot piece that's working out there needs to do something at a scale that the Power Platform has API limits for. You want to maybe you want to call an API. Well, that'll probably live in Azure. What else would you do? Maybe the bot that you've created a bot in Azure and you want Power Virtual Agents to talk to that bot. You can connect them, and now that bot still lives in Azure. There's your Azure plan in action for that bot. But for the most part, even that doesn't have that. So you saw that the YAML files, this is the same YAML files used by the Azure stuff. Before you do it in Azure, maybe you were doing it in Azure because that's what you knew how to do originally. If it's not that busy, or rather you can handle the capacity, or you want to do it in bulk, which is what you can do in a nice package license version with Power Virtual Agents, port it back and see what happens on this side. Right? Does it have to be in Azure? If it's giant and huge, probably. But if it's not, do you have to stay in Azure? Well, there's now a home for it in the Power Platform land with low code. Why not move it back? Just a thought for that. What other plans might be out there for as you go into Power Automate side? As you know, Power Virtual Agents, you can tell it. One of the things that we saw on the topic in question, I hit a plus sign, I can do an action. That action could be call for example, a workflow or an RPA or whatever to go do something like create an order or something like that. Well, if that needs Azure behind the scenes because it's pay as you go, then that would be your Azure plan. Good question. Got another one?
James wants to know if you suppose this is going to be mostly E5 plan versus E3 plan.
This is a good question. So here's the thing. This is like Power Platform. This is not E3 or E5 dependent. You want to do Power BI stuff, and you want to do Power BI stuff where you're posting up there, and you want to get it and not have to pay for it. Well, you have to pay. You have to have an E5, and you'll get Pro. So if you're doing Power BI-ish stuff, the same thing. That's where the E3, E5 makes a difference. This one otherwise doesn't care. This is Power Platform, straight up. If you have the license for, if you're doing something premium-y, you got to pay your license. That's its own thing. But if you're not, if you're doing, say, for example, the bot inside of a team, that's included. The data is going to be different. You're limited 2 gigs. If you're okay with all of that stuff, there's no cost, and you're on E3, and you're essentially, like I said, getting ROI out of your M365 system, because technically speaking, you've already paid for it. How about use it?
Does it work in teams so like teams you can get to use premium licensing, right, in the sandbox?
Well, here's the thing. If you're in the sandbox, you can use premium, but there are limits in teams. Like I said, the capacity for teams, 2 gigs. And if you're doing something that exceeds certain limits, usually API calls. Here's an example. I thought Teams was free. I'm calling the SharePoint thing and it's getting mad at me. Well, why? Because you called 100,000 rows out of a SharePoint list. Sorry, you can't do that. You got to be premium. So you can't do it from Teams. You got to go outside. And wait a minute, even outside of Teams, and I did it in a regular flow, it's saying I still need premium even though I'm calling SharePoint. Yes, because you have exceeded the limit of the API calls and now you are in premium land regardless. Right. So the idea of like of the premium in your area is essentially the limits of what you can do in Teams. So by the way, the same limits are for dev environments. Dev environments are also restricted for how much API and all that stuff that you can do. Again, the whole point is, hey, you have rented space that's really living in Microsoft's land in some of that case. So you're capped. You want to do more? Got to pay. Yeah, licensing questions. That's why I'm always here for. And throw them at me. Any more licensing questions? We got more. Let's see. You can sign. Oh, there we go. We got the dev tenant. By the way, what you saw over here is available on regular dev tenants. If you have one, you can keep them going. The concept is make a dev environment in a dev tenant, and you have a forever use for your Power Platform. You don't have to keep getting trials over and over again. Except for Power Virtual Agents, it seems to be free every time. I don't know what's up there. They let us keep having trials. I think though, if you attempt to use it outside of just deving, then they get you.
Yeah, they noticed that.
They catch you.
They caught us with that 365 Chicago.
Yeah, because we were using it. It was originally a dev tenant, and we were using it to do our sites and a little bit more to it than not. So yeah, now we got to pay. Well, that was the old AI figuring that out. They got the new AI. You know, it's going to do it in less time. Any other ones? Any other questions? Before we partake of pizza over here, I think. Oh, people are already partaking.
You guys partake as you kind of tinkered with these different chatbots and AIs.
Yes.
One of the things that I see in terms of responsible AI is not expressing personification of the computers.
Yes.
The little bit that we saw here in the demonstration, I would say was not bad. Like it wasn't saying I, me, or my name is.
Indeed.
Has that been your experience kind of across the properties?
Correct. And so I attempted to do something. In fact, I can try to be as smarmy as I can to make it sound like I actually put in there sound smarmy or sound like snide or something like that. And it basically rejects it. Does not let itself do something. It seems to be that stuff seems to be built in, and I think it's more under the cover of the engine. So if you try to talk to the Bing chat, here's the thing: if you can talk to the Bing, that thing responds to you, then you know you can probably do it here. But if you see it get mad at you or tell you, I can't do that, no, this conversation's over. And I said, this conversation is over to me because I figured out how to that point. That's essentially the same response, the same concept of the engine over here. The difference is now in here, they applied it now to the local area. So whatever they learned up there applies down here. That's a good question. So you know, Power Virtual Agents, there's a way to how you use them. One of the settings when you're deploying it is it gives you a URL. Essentially, it's a little piece that you can stick on any app, right? So you can have a web page. You probably have to create an authenticator to be able to talk to it from, like, say, a React application. But now you can imagine an iframe inside of a report wherein this is in there. Well, if that can happen, somebody can create a visual where the visual is, here's the visual and here's the chat inside of it. Probably not even bother, because I have a feel. I think there's something called Trident out there where essentially AI is now coming to the Power BI side. There's a Trident preview folks can try to get into to take a look at it, but I believe that's the code name for the let's just say the power of the bot into the Power BI side. Highly recommended if that's what you're doing day in, day out.
The Trident is a chatbot of like a user in Power BI, or that's something-
Actually, no, it's more than that. It's sort of like the Copilot, but it's sort of like all the AI, essentially taking the AI that's in there, because it has AI. Like, remember asking questions and data, taking all of that and bringing it underneath the covers, and Power BI essentially goes into its next evolutionary phase. That's when they hook you up, like, oh, you Power BI up here, step, we'll hook you up.
We just need to figure out version control.
So you know what?
More stuff into it.
I'm gonna have to remember that one, because the next time I'm gonna ask the bots, like, give me an app with version control. I'm going to ask for. I wonder. So I'm going to ask for that. I'm going to maybe we'll challenge Topness, like, hey, it made the app, but is there version control? Does it have ALM out of the box? Oh. Yeah.
I'm gonna say that, no, it does not.
Give me an app with ALM, with
Platform.
Power Platform with ALM and with version control. Yes, there we go. We're already coming up with it, and someone over there at Microsoft's going like, we're taking notes. It's like, how did they know? We told them it was NDA. We're taking their. We're just guessing right now. That's where we could go.
We got a couple more minutes. Next slide.
We do. So a couple more minutes. Next slide here, brother. In conclusion, steps you can take in the Power Platform journeys. Here we go. Tell a friend. Here's some QR codes. Give you a chance to snapshot these QR codes to follow through. Find other groups. Join our group. See us on LinkedIn. Join us on LinkedIn. Say hi to us on LinkedIn.
I don't have a LinkedIn. I can grab it.
This is going away in 5, 4. Remember, you can always get it on our site or somewhere. Yes. So last questions of the day. I'm not sure if there's any last parting shots, because if not, Craig's favorite slide, the Be Safe slide.
I did not put that in there. You did.
Did I put that Be Safe in it? Was that me? But I thought it was your favorite because you've never removed it. Even no matter how many times you've changed the template, this is still there. It's not going nowhere.
That is one of the first slides that we dropped in on COVID.
Yes, indeed.
Be safe, keep away from people.
Be away from
If they
people.
get too close, to stick them.
Yeah, we didn't put a mask on it. Well, we got to go to DALL-E. DALL-E will put a mask on this guy. Yes. Yeah, so there's an example. Oh, no, I'm not going to go there because there's an example on the web for that. All right, what do we got? What an amazing presentation. Thanks so much. Oh, wow. We're getting kudos. Oh, wait, what question? What new AI stuff will come to the PBI desktop? And I mentioned Trident. Look up Trident, see what comes up with that. And if you're not beaten down by saying, how did you know our passcode? Don't worry about it. The Robot Masters will allow you to at least learn a little bit about it. And if you're, as they say, in a good mode, maybe you'll be in the preview. That's the question for that. Is the recording available at all? But you know what's so cool about this? We streamed live to YouTube, which means that right now we're live. If you want to watch this again, go back there and hit rewind. Or as soon as we stop this, you can go back there and the show is ready to go on YouTube. It might be like not in public. I'm going to ask Raquel to make sure that it's made public right away so that we can see it. All right, so let's make sure it's public and that folks can come here as soon as recording. We have an internal recording of this from Teams, so we have the not so webby version of it. That's fine. We'll post that, but I think it's more important for everyone to see the YouTube. Post the YouTube page onto the chat at some point so that folks can go there. We should always have the YouTube our meetup and in the intro, and of course our site. URL, asking for the URL. Someone's asking for the URL. Who's got the URL for the YouTube site? Oh, we're putting it in. We're gonna put it in again. Because that's Craig's job.
I'm doing it. I'm getting
He's doing it. Pretty soon, see, you know what I'm looking for? It's like start a meeting with chat, but with Copilot. So you'll have like the Copilot will be listening into questions like this and answering for you. And then maybe bugging me. It's like, here's Ralph, there's a question I can't answer. And the Copilot pings me and I have to answer. That'd be cool.
It's weird.
Suggestion,
It puts it on
Microsoft.
the live tab, it doesn't put on
I think, what was it? Teams Premium is going, there's going to be something called Teams Premium that's going to have all little chatty stuff on it, ready to go.
the.
Just
No, I
saying.
meant YouTube doesn't put the video.
It doesn't put it like in the main area. Usually
No,
you
when
can
you
hunt for it.
stream it puts it in the live.
It puts it in live. That's right. While it's streaming, while it's going on right now, it's in live. So we can give you a link to the live so you can go there now. But at some point, it will be,
No, it doesn't move it.
it's still there or no?
It still leaves it in the live category. It doesn't move it to the video.
Oh, so it stays in live, but it's recorded live ones. Oh, that's right. Query for Trident. That's a good question. Let's ask. Somebody asked, what is Trident? Let's ask Bing. Let's ask it. Let's ask it. But where are you, Bing? I'm going to say new topic. What is let's ask. Let's see what the net says. Trident. Trident is a company that specializes in Power BI and SQL Server reporting. Power BI says, okay, it says Power BI. So let's go see what this happens to say. Let's go tridentinfo.com or trident.sg. What's this?
Go that one. It seems like you have to sit.
Let's,
There's also Trident.com.
oh, Trident.
Trident. Trident Technologies. Power BI.
Remember this. Stand by. Let's go back. Using the name again. Very, very sneaky. All right, there's not too much out there. For things that are coming out for it. And it could be that they're doing it with that company in conjunction. But right, hey, take some pizza with you on the way.
Thank you.
Sure thing. All right. Any other questions before we start signing out? Meetings for it to get folks like bots, right?
Ralph, thanks again for presenting. If we get a presenter.
You're welcome. Okay.
We'll have Anthony present.
And Raquel? Do it really well. She's very good at it.